Hey guys, it's me, Daryl. Thanks for checking out this video. So what I want to talk to you about today is 3 signs that it's time for a change. Right? And I don't know how this whole pandemic has been for you. I don't know how the last year and a half or 2 years have been for you, but I'm seeing more and more people reevaluate things in their life. They have started asking themselves the question, am I doing what I want to do, or is this really what I want? And it's a great question. And I'll be honest, for some of the people I've talked to, it scares the hell out of them. Because this is all they've ever known, or they've been doing it so long, or the thing they do provides for their family, allows them to live the lifestyle that they're living now. And it can be tough. It can be frustrating when you get to a point where something feels off, or you hear that question more and more in your mind that, is this really what I want to be doing? Or for a lot of people, COVID gave them a chance to break the pattern. Maybe you weren't going into the office as much. Maybe your work responsibilities changed. Maybe something got lighter, or maybe things just slowed down. But whatever that something was, for a lot of folks, it has opened up space for that question to show up and say, hey, do I want to go back to the thing that I was doing before? Do I want my life to look like it looked before? So it's very natural for any of us to run from that question, to try to avoid that question or replace it with some other thought. But I wanted to give you guys 3 signs that it may be time for a change for you. Right? And I'm specifically talking about professionally. Right? And this can apply to anything in life, but I'm hearing a lot of people who are exploring this question professionally. So number 1, your mind's telling you some of the things that I've already mentioned. If the question is coming up over and over again in your mind, hey, is this what I really want? I wonder if there's something else out there. Is there something different? I want this to feel different. Your mind is telling you and asking questions over and over and over again. If it wakes you up at night, or is the first thought you have in the morning the last thought you have at night, or you find that question showing up as you're sitting there at your desk, that is a great sign that it may be time for you to explore a change. Number 2, your body's telling you. And what I mean by your body telling you is that you can literally feel aversion to what you're doing. Right? Maybe it's a feeling when you walk into the office each and every morning. Maybe it's a feeling while you're sitting there in the middle of a meeting or the middle of presentations or preparing for whatever you have to do next. And it just feels off, and your body is telling you that it may be time for a change. I'll give you an example of what this feels like. I remember early in my career, I didn't hate my job. I really didn't. I was learning good stuff, but there was something that just felt off. And I remember each and every Sunday, I'm a big sports guy. I'm an NFL guy. Go Saints. So I watch games. Every Sundays, I would flip on games. I would watch the 1 o'clock game and the 4 o'clock game. So 2 games each day, and I'd be really excited to do so. And something would happen every single Sunday right before the 4 o'clock game started. And this feeling would come over my body. I would feel this tingling. I would almost feel this dread in my body. And I didn't know what it was. I didn't know what to make of it. And I eventually figured out that I realized that the 4 o'clock NFL game starting was an indication that the weekend was coming to a close, that the work week was beginning. It was right around the corner. And before I knew it, by the time this game ended, it would be time to start thinking about going to bed, and it'd be time. And that means the week is here. That means it's time to go back to work. So if you feel that kind of dread around going to work, around the work you're doing, if you feel that in your body, it may be time for a change. And lastly, and I'm just going to speak plainly here, lastly, you just know. You know you don't want to go back to doing the thing you're already doing or you've been doing. You know you want something different. You know you want to feel something different, do something different, pour yourself into something different. You just don't know what that looks like. You don't know how to define it. You don't know how to describe it. You don't know how to get there. But deep down, if I were to ask you plainly, you know the answer. You know you're ready for a change. But the thought of getting there, the thought of figuring all that out or taking a risk feels scary. So we retreat and we do what we've always done. Guys, I brought up this topic because I'm talking to more and more people around this. I'm helping people define what it is that they really want, what they want their professional life to look like, how they want it to feel. And then once we understand what we want, Then we build a plan to go out and get it. So if this is you, if you find yourself in this space where you're trying to figure out what's next, where you're even exploring, hey, do I stay or do I go? Is it even reasonable for me to look for something else? Or should I grin and bear it where I am? Those are the kind of questions I'm tackling with clients each and every week. We help work through it. And usually we have one of two outcomes. Either we end up figuring out what it is about what we're doing that we don't feel great about, and we go to work on that. Maybe the answer isn't leaving. But for a lot of people, it is, how do we define and find whatever it is we want to do next? And how do we put a strategy? How do we build a plan and put that in place to really get it? And find a job that brings us joy, brings us fulfillment, while making the money we need to make, we want to make, to support ourselves, our families, and do the things we want to do in life. Hopefully this video has been helpful. If there's somebody in your life that you think needs to hear this message, please share it with them. Please tag them in the comments. Get it out there. If you find yourself in this position, find me. You can hit me up in the comments. You can find me at darrellsweeney.com. You can find me on a lot of the social platforms. I'm on Facebook and LinkedIn and Twitter. However you get a hold of me, I would love to have a conversation around what this looks like for you. See you next time.